This is Debopriya here, and we are back with the next podcast of Antra Startup Growth Series. This time, we have with us Mr. Puneet Dutta, who has actually created the perfect biscuit for our chai. So, I'm sure that you must be really curious about what it is all about. It's about our sustainable environment. Without any further delay, let's get into the podcast. Hello everyone, this is Debopriya this side. Today I'm here to discuss about Aataware. We have with us the founder of Aataware, Puneet Dutta. Welcome Puneet ji, glad to have you with us. So talking about Aataware, Aataware is a brand which is working in edible cutleries and edible products. So Puneet ji, if you can just give us a hint about what is Aataware.
Uh, Aataware is manufacturing single-use edible cutlery using grains and jaggery. In a nutshell, we make sure that there is no pollution created in the process of having your regular meal, and there is no harm to the nature, and there is no contribution to the landfill.
So Puneet ji, since when did you start Aataware?
Aataware started in 2019, around the same time, 23rd of August.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So this is the anniversary month of Aataware.
Yes, it is. It is.
Great. So, Puneet, why do you think that we need such products, and what is the acceptance level of such products in the market currently?
Look, you asked two questions. I'll start with the first
With the
one.
first one, yes.
What is the need? In every city, wherever we are, in any part of the world, there is a huge problem related to the landfills. We do not have products which can decompose very quickly. So, first is
Okay.
increasing landfills. Second is the amount of uh, microplastics we are consuming every day is really high. People are not really worried about that, how much plastics do we eat every day. Apart from plastics in the ocean, we have a huge amount of plastics in our body. So these are two very, very simple reasons why there is a need for Aataware. In terms of acceptance, initial days, people were very amazed. People were very shocked. They were not able to understand. They were not able to grasp it. That is it possible to eat a cutlery? Is it possible to drink in a cup and eat that cup? And what is the value behind that cup? If I eat it, what will happen? We used to receive, I can recall my initial days, I used to receive these calls. People used to ask, Puneet sir, is it true? Or is it a camera gimmicks? Or is it a real product? Can I have a sample in my hand? And now suddenly people have started understanding what it is, how things move, what value it brings. Now people have become more and more aware and conscious and sensible towards the edible cutlery.
So, Puneet ji, talking about acceptance, what is the order size that you get currently? Because that would speak a lot about the acceptance rate.
Size of order, we have done trials with the largest consumer of tea across India, Indian Railways. Uh,
Great.
we have pitched into multiple B2B organizations which are consuming tea in good numbers. So B2B side, there is a big acceptance. B2C side, from a regular chai wala on roadside is our customer, and a regular B2C consumer at home is our customer.
So, Puneet ji, can you help us understand the costing of your cup and the other regular plastic cups or thermocol cups, so that any B2C customer or any B2C vendor out there can understand that how can that person readily accept this kind of a edible cutlery in their own business?
Uh, when we started off, people were very much concerned about pricing. A lot of people
Yeah.
kept on asking, it's very costly, it's very costly, it is very costly. And gradually, when we started approaching the right set of people, right mindset of people,
Yeah.
if you drink a cup of tea, you will definitely eat something. Maybe a cookie, maybe a biscuit, maybe matti, or maybe samosa, or maybe something. That is very, very common. Now, when you eat something, 99.9% that particular product will have oil, will have preservatives, and it cannot give you the value that cup gives you because it's made of jaggery. So it took us little bit of time, 6 months, 1 year, wherein customer understood that what is the value of a cup which is costing between 5 to 10 rupees, is given to them. What is the health value behind the cup? What is the environmental value behind the cup? And then people understood. Now, take an example of pricing as compared to plastic or maybe plastic coated paper cups. A very good quality plastic coated paper cup would be 1.5 rupees, 100 ml. And our cup is ranging somewhere between 5 to 10 rupees.
Okay.
It's 10 times the difference, and still customer does not care about 5-10 rupees for their health, for their environment, for their own farmer, for their own country. So there is a good number of people who understand, and there is another bigger number who's not willing to pay that price. For them, our strategy is very simple: eat plastic, stay happy, don't look at the product. So they understand it very easily.
Yeah. So Puneetji, talking about healthy products, like, does it mean that your cup, the cup which is made up of jaggery, does it mean that if I pour milk in it, I don't have to, or if I pour tea in it, I don't have to use any sugar? Will it be naturally sugary, like due to jaggery?
There are 3 types of cups, Debopriya. One is simple, plain jaggery cup. You pour in your hot milk, you pour in your cold milk, you pour in cold coffee, hot tea, cold coffee, whatever you wish to. It will not change the original taste of your beverage.
Okay.
And then there are flavored cups.
Okay.
They will change or they will enhance the original flavor of your product, of your beverage. Say, for example, you're in your office right now and you're bored of drinking tea from the same coffee machine. You're not liking it anymore. So you wish to have hazelnut coffee or maybe vanilla coffee or strawberry coffee. So you can use one of our strawberry cups, maybe vanilla cups, pour in your plain coffee into it, it will turn into your vanilla or strawberry coffee. So that is type 2 of cups. Type 3 of the cups is, I'll showcase a couple of these things to you. So type 3 of cups is a replacement of plastic bottles of this size.
Okay.
This is 200 ml. No, this is 110 or 150 ml.
Okay.
Right? The third type of cup is a replacement of this plastic bottle.
Okay.
Looks like this. This is how it is packed.
Okay.
Now, this is called premix. So you pour in you pour in plain water into it, and your plain water will turn into cold drink.
Okay. Nice.
So your plain water.
This is a new product?
This is a new product. We have just started it.
Great. So, Puneetji, can you talk about, can you just mention your top 3 bestsellers?
Initially, bestsellers, plain simple jaggery cup is the largest selling one, and flavored cups were number 1 a few days back, but these pre-mixed coffee cups are number 1 nowadays. They are very high in demand because what happens is, in the same price of this plastic cold drink bottle, 10 rupees, you get to drink cold drink and you get to eat something.
Great. Actually, so, basically, I think the acceptance issue would be initially not only just the pricing, but of the fact that, we have never been brought up in a way where we think that the cup that we use to drink coffee or tea, or the glass that we use to drink water, will be used for eating. Like, we have not been conditioned that way, that you will eat up your own cup.
Yes,
okay, so that is one resistance, that psychological resistance that we all might have. So that's the thing that you have been able to penetrate that thought, which is a very big barrier. Then secondly comes the plastic comparison, which is very genuine and logically understood, that it is anyway better than plastics. So what are your strategies that you have been working on and that you will be carrying forward to take your Aataware products ahead? Like, one is, of course, a campaigns or awareness campaigns, but what are the other ways that you want to, shout out about your products?
Debopriya, you really asked a question which is very close to my heart, which is called market positioning. How are we positioning it? What is that difference Aataware is bringing? So we don't sell a product. We don't try to sell the product. We are selling the thought process. So if people agree to what we think, people agree to the value, what we bring to the table, they will buy the product itself. So I'll give you a simple example. For everyone who's hyper conscious about the cost, who is not willing to spend 5 to 10 rupees on his health, on his own environment, He's not our customer. And what we will do with him is, we will make sure that we irritate him. We really piss the customer off. We will definitely keep telling him every day, sir, you stick to your cheap plastic. You stick to your cheap plastic. So he will be somebody like, if somebody hurts you, you will remember him forever.
Yeah.
That's how we are trying to create
Negative marketing, that is kind of a
Yes.
negative marketing.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you make somebody aware, he or she will not agree to the thought process, right? So if you wish to make him agree or make him, in your favor in terms of thought process, if you want to convert him into a customer tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or maybe near future, because that's where public will go. That's where the planet has to go. They will come into that bracket. Now, this is what in technical language called FOMO, fear of missing out. We keep telling these people, there is a huge database company has created wherein people have rejected us on the basis of pricing. Very costly. I wanted to buy 20 lakh pieces a day, but I cannot afford it. Oh, they know. I just keep telling my marketing team that make sure you send information across to them that plastic is very cheap. And then they come up. We managed to convert a couple of good customers with that strategy, and we'll keep following up. We haven't started marketing yet. We haven't, spent even a single penny in marketing as of now. In coming years, we will create content that will really hurt the ego of our potential customer.
Absolutely.
So that's how we are positioning it.
Yeah, so the positioning of such products which are new in the market, as in as again, there are other players too who are coming up with such products, who have come up with such products. But what do you think? Because you have been in this market, you have been in this field, you understand this edible cutlery market. So what do you think? Like do you have potential competitors with whom you can further collaborate, or with who can be actually a good competitor to you? Or are there any good competitors, or there is any like mixture in their product which we are not aware, any adulteration in the product which we are not aware? How do you like to say that?
Debopriya, there are two kinds of edible cutleries available in the market.
Okay.
One is made using baking. As we make a biscuit, we make a batter, we put some oil into it, we put some baking soda into it, and we add some preservatives, raising agents, and put it in the mold, and the cutlery is ready to use.
Fine.
That is what most of other companies are doing. So
Okay.
when I started researching back in 2013, there were companies, they were there already. So Aataware does not have anything to do with baking, no color, no preservatives, no oil, no chemicals, nothing. Product is pure jaggery and whole grain. It's not even wheat flour, it's not refined flour, nothing. It is pure jaggery and grains, nothing else. So these are the only things.
So, Puneet, talking about Aataware, the kind of products that you have been building, what is your background? What is your background, like your educational background?
I used to be a global recruitment manager for a software company. I did
Okay.
my MBA. I did my technology study. I was a Bachelor of Technologies. That's my background. I started off as a salesman, selling newspapers at a traffic signal. From there, I went on to become a global recruitment manager. Then I left my job, started off Aataware, researched on my own self. All was funded through my own money, and started Aataware.
So, what was that one thought that provoked you to come up with Aataware? I am really curious to know that.
So everybody has those wow moments.
Yeah,
Everyone
of
has
course.
those wow moments. So I had one of them. So I saw a huge, uh, about 7.5 kilometer long stretch of styrofoam plates floating in Yamuna, and that's the day I thought I should be doing something. That was my triggered moment, and then I was thinking I should make cutlery which is edible. There were people making it. I researched. I found out what is their challenges. I met a couple of them, and finally, I managed to develop a product which is suitable for all type of food products.
Great. So, what are the few obstacles that you have faced as an entrepreneur? Because there are a lot of audience that we'll be having who are budding entrepreneurs, or who are entrepreneurs who are scaling their businesses currently. So, what are the few because your business is an offbeat business. during the time when you started it. It is still an offbeat business because there is not a lot of audience who are actually wholeheartedly embracing what you are doing or wholeheartedly using what you are doing. So, what are the basic obstacles that you have faced while building Aataware in the initial years?
Uh, During the research time, Debopriya, it was very, very difficult. Socially, it was very difficult. Uh, you
Mhm.
know, when you have a dollar earning job,
Yeah.
you go to office, enjoy your corporate life. Suddenly you resign, and then you start researching on a new product. Socially, you've been challenged. People start asking questions out of the way. I've been asked by multiple family members, friends, that are you trying to be a halwai? Would you be selling samosas? What is this edible cutlery all about? Why are you investing your time? One is this. Second is there is no support anywhere in the world for research purposes.
Mhm.
So if you wish to research, there is no support in terms of R&D labs. There is no support in terms of raw material, in terms of maybe scientists or experts. There isn't anything. Imagine I used to pay to a gentleman to use his one
Mhm.
machine operator, and raw material was mine while the research process, and I used to pay him 5,000 rupees a day.
That's huge.
So
And that was
that's
back
huge.
in that was back in which year?
13, 14, 15.
Oh, okay.
And I had access to nothing. I'm not a hardcore mechanical engineering guy. I'm not a food technology expert. I'm nothing. I did all my reading myself. I did all my study myself. I did all my trials myself, and there was no support at all, because especially in this side of the world, India, moment you talk about research, people start thinking that you're shying away from hard work. You're taking a you're taking a route which will give you more relaxation, which is like a holiday or educational holiday. But that's not true. There is serious research happening. The other challenge what we faced is money. A lot of budding entrepreneurs, they have no idea how much money has to be spent on what. They don't
Exactly.
understand it at all. As I told you, I spent about 5,000 rupees. The guy, who was the owner of that facility, he used to think this guy Gora hai hoga, kahin bahar videsh se NRI aaya hai, and rob him as much as you can. And I happily was getting robbed. But I managed to
Exactly.
develop the product. It costed me a little extra money, maybe a little extra time, but I managed to get it through. So these were some challenges that I faced during the research. There were challenges when I started selling the product.
Okay.
So it was more funnier as compared to developing the product. When we started selling the product, everyone was curious to find how do you make it. Everyone was willing to manufacture it, willing to trade it, willing to sell it, but there was no one who's willing to use it as a consumer. The
That's so such an irony.
first 5,000 customers we had, all of them wanted to be a trader, but there were none of them had food in our cutleries. So that's the challenge. Then how do you structure in terms of your channel sales, your marketing? When you have a structured environment, when there is a set of process, set of things that we need to follow to sell that product in your particular area, people have trouble in following. So give you a simple example. You are based in Ahmedabad, and you want to start the business in Ahmedabad, and I give you a set of process. Debopriya, from step 1 to step 2, this is what you need to do. Step 3, this is what you need to do. Step 4, this is what you need to do. And step 5, your business would be up and running. Your ROI would be at home. I am struggling to find such people in India. I'm struggling to find such people in India. You have a set process from A to B, B to C, C to D. That is done. Your ROI is at home. Your business is up and running. People have trouble in following that. So these are a
So,
couple of challenges. Budding entrepreneurs need to think maybe 1 or 2 steps ahead, wherever they are.
basically, to summarize these challenges, I would say that one is, the research has to be really strong, and you cannot back down from research. Research is not a gala journey; it's actually a tedious process wherein you are making the base of your entire journey way forward. Secondly, it would be the kind of funds you need to infuse and where you need to infuse the funds. That has to be really clear, that you should know that if you have X fund, where and how should you infuse that fund, and what is the tentative outcome that you're looking forward to for that fund. And third and most foremost thing is the process that you create around your entire venture. The kind of process that you create needs to be very clear in your mind, so that you can trickle down the same process in your other team members or your other partners. And what I would like to add on to this is that, as you mentioned, that you are you had no food technology background, you are not a mechanical engineer, but still you were able to come down this journey, and you were able to do your part of research and follow all these steps and infiltrate here. So that is something which is a point of learning, which is in like void of whatever field you are from. You if you want to do something, you will go to the depth of the research to come out with a result. So that's something that you have been able to do. So, Puneet, talking about your product, as you were mentioning that everyone was very curious about how the product is made. Of course, everyone would be, because this is something which no one expects कि खाने वाला बर्तन कहाँ से आ सकता है, जिस बर्तन को आप खा सकते हो, या utensil which you can actually eat, cutlery that you can actually eat. This is very weird to even think. So, have you tried patenting it, or have you applied for a patent?
Patent process started way before when we started Aataware.
Okay.
So when my patent got published, then we started the company. And it's just not one patent. Indian entrepreneurs do not understand how the whole patent strategy works.
Yes, yeah.
So give you an example. A lot of Indian startups have 1, 2, 3, or 4 patents. Let's say technology. People like
Design.
me, technology, maybe design, maybe process, composition, utility, whatever it is. What I have done is I have a whole set of patents which are in and around those patents. Say, for example, patent number 1 talks about a certain process, right? Now, if Debopriya wishes to infringe my patent, what will she do? She will do, maybe my composition is called Y, she will do Y plus X, Y plus 1, Y plus 2, Y plus 3. All the permutation and combination. And whatever she will do, keeping my patent number 1 in mind, right? Now I have, let's say there are 300 other compositions or 300 combinations apart from my patent. I have filed patent for all the other remaining compositions as well. Right?
Okay. So that is disaster management.
Yes. No, thinking the mindset of people who would be trying to infringe your patent.
Yeah, of course. Patent is all about safeguarding your intellectual property. So you have to do that.
Now, I ended up spending whole amount of my money. When I say whole, about 98% of my savings went into just filing patents.
Okay.
And this is just not India. I managed to I filed patents in about 86 different countries apart from India.
So PCT, you did a PCT.
We did PCT, and then we did individual filings in those countries.
Okay. Great. So, so I'm sure that this was not a knowledge that you already had. A lot of entrepreneurs, what they do is that they depend on a lot of external bodies for everything possible. But they have to understand that initially, when you are starting your business, you have to take care of all the basic nitty-gritties yourself. Later on, when you are good to go, when you are on your stable path, then outsourcing your stuff is fine. But initially, like the way you have understood the patent process, I'm sure that not many entrepreneurs do understand it that way. Okay.
My patent attorney, she was very unhappy with me. Very unhappy. We had about 27 different meetings. I'm sure she will listen to the interview. And every time, like an elder sister, she scolded me like anything. Puneet, you've gone mad. You're wasting money. You're wasting money. You're wasting money. There is no need to do this. There is no need to do this. I said, you know what? I am trying to make a unique product. This might change the world tomorrow. And I'm sure people will try to find a way around. So you make sure to protect one patent. I'm happy to file another 100 patents to support. It's like, there is an army of 100 men trying to save the king. I'm happy to do that. And she was very unhappy. And when she came back after finishing the job, she said, I've never seen somebody who's so strategic about things. This is one sort of story. Second thing is, everything is not patentable.
Exactly.
Right? When it comes to, I had no knowledge, no experience in terms of manufacturing. I've never seen a manufacturing machine or a manufacturing factory in my life prior to Aataware. It has taught me so much.
That's
I've
strange
never been.
and very inspiring at the same time.
I've been a software guy. I know what to do with the system. And I've been doing the white collar. राजा बन के नौकरी करने जाते हैं and कुछ भी नहीं देखा है. So मैं टायर का पंचर भी लगाना नहीं जानता था देवप्रिया. जहाँ गाड़ी पंचर हो गई मैं वहीं छोड़ देता था. यार this is done. मेरे बस की नहीं है भाई. I cannot do it. I am more busy with my laptop. दो चीज सिस्टम पे काम करने में ज्यादा विश्वास. Aataware has given me so much of knowledge and understanding about multiple aspects. As you were mentioning, entrepreneurs have no idea कि हमें सब कुछ करना पड़ेगा. सब कुछ includes back in 2020, we had one machine and one operator. This operator ran away. We kept on calling him. The guy was not answering calls. I went to his home in a slum, and this was December, chilling cold. Car cannot enter that particular colony. I had to go by scooter. I went to his home. Guy was not there. 7 o'clock in the morning, he was not there. 12 o'clock midnight, he was not there. I chased him for 7 days, and I came back home disappointed. Disappointed that, you know what, I have my first order, and this machine operator is not there. I landed back home. I spoke to myself, and I said, Puneet, you migrated from US to India. You did all your efforts, and are you dependent on this guy? If this guy is not there, will you not go ahead with Aataware plans? I said, no, I have to do something. I picked up all the recordings, CCTV recordings of my factory. I learned how to operate that machine, and after 2020 till 2022, for 2 years, I operated the machinery myself. All the production, like the laborer, I did it myself. Now I designed every piece of the mechanical side of the business. All the mechanical designs are by me.
Great.
Now all the compositions are very clear. So that really helped me to become half engineer in my own process.
Exactly. So that is where it comes from. If you have to do it, so basically an entrepreneurial mindset doesn't mean that you have to build an unicorn. It means that you have to get the work done by hook or by crook. Either you do it or you get it done by someone. But at the end of the day, you cannot just depend, or you cannot just shove it on someone that ye uska kaam hai, this is someone else's work, so I have to wait till that X person is not available. So you have to be self-equipped to pursue your own goals. You can't depend on anyone out there in the market.
This is half story. Debopriya, this is half story. The Indian or the global system right now, most of these startups which are coming up are only in the software area of business.
Yeah.
I have come up with a mobile app. I have come up with artificial intelligence. I have done machine learning. I have done this. I've done that, right? I don't take anything away from them, but that makes a human more lazier. That makes a human more lazier. We are an actual physical product company. It's a very different ball game altogether. Developing a software
Yes, it is.
to solve a
It is
problem
a different one.
and developing a physical product are two different ball games. And people do not understand. People think, or people look at us from the vision, from the spectacle of a software company doing a software development R&D part. So it's a very different ball game. You won't see a lot of players developing actual physical product. There are a handful of startups in any other domain wherein there is a physical product. So this is a very different
of
mindset.
course, I totally agree that product startups or product companies and service companies have a totally two different processes, two different ball games, two different methodologies, two different mind frames. The goals are different. The gestation periods are different. For example, as we were discussing previously about research. So research of a software initially in the initial phases of developing a software can be done in a room, can be done in a room under a roof. But when talking about products, it is not that easy. You have to go out there in the market. You have to test a lot of products in the market. You have to test a lot of raw materials, the source of raw materials. So of course, it is a different ball game, and it takes the research, the literature survey, the initial marketing survey is totally different. Two different things of same coin. So it's like head and tails of startup. So head is if head is service, then tail is the product. Of course, I do agree with that.
So what we did is we divided the whole process into 3 parts. Process number 1 is technology. Anything to do with technology, we dedicated 1 whole year to develop. Then year number 2, we developed, or we were more focused on raw material. Where to get it, which one to get it, which type of jaggery, which type of grains, uh, multiple types of sugar canes. We tested everything. Third one was marketing or market research. Now, the standard way of doing market research, Debopriya, is you go and fill up a survey form, ask a consumer, and then end of the story. This is the cup. What do you think of it? Can you guess? There were a couple of marketing research companies that suggested this way of this method of doing it, and we rejected it. What we did is we forced the customer to buy the product, and then we did market research on it. Say, you saw my video on internet, right? You came up to me. You know what, Puneet sir, I'm very excited. Can I do something with your company? Is there a business opportunity for me? Or I'm just curious to hold the product in my hand. We started supplying samples to them. Once these people had product in their hands, they understood what are we talking about. And then these consumers taught us how to develop that product and how to make that product more compatible to their needs. Like flavors. Somebody from Rajasthan called me up and said, Puneet sir, जब मैं चाय पीऊँ ना, तो मुझे लाल मिर्ची का स्वाद आना चाहिए आपके कप में से. लाल मिर्ची का स्वाद आना चाहिए चाय में से. And I was thinking, in Delhi, me and you cannot even imagine, putting half a spoon of lal mirchi in our chai. हम मर जाएंगे, हमारे तो देख के चक्कर आ गया. Somebody called me from Uttar Pradesh, and this guy said, "Sir, when I drink tea in your cup, मुझे तो पान मसाले का स्वाद आना चाहिए." अब Google employee called me up and said, "Sir, मैं कॉफी पीऊँ तो मुझे ब्लेंडर स्प्राइट की खुशबू आनी चाहिए उसमें से." ये मार्केट रिसर्च है रियल टाइम की. This cannot be taught by any other way. कोई और तरीका नहीं है. You have to become a football and let people play around. Then you
Then only you can
understand.
learn football. Yeah.
Yes. Then you will understand where is the goal and where is the pole.
Yeah, true. So this is like, you have to be there in the game. So you have to have your skin in the game to be the gamer. You can't just be a gamer sitting here reading theoretical books. So talking about that, Puneetji, if you want to mention a few books that has been inspiring you, like if you are an avid reader.
Look, a lot of my reading is related to religion.
Okay.
So there is one book, I've read it multiple times. It's the story of a monk.
Okay.
Book is called Journey Home.
Okay.
So
Journey Home.
Journey Home is the story of Sri Radhanath Swami.
Okay.
Probably you can search him on the internet. He's a sadhu, and he hitchhiked without money from Chicago to India
Okay.
when he was 17 years old.
Okay.
From Chicago to India, which is half the globe, and it took him 6 months. How he traveled from one country to the other, how he landed in India, what he did in India, and he's a full-time monk now. He's a sannyasi, he's a sadhu now. You might find him somewhere in Mumbai on a traffic signal singing and dancing. His life story, I've read it a couple of times. For an entrepreneur, it's just not business. It's about understanding the population, understanding the customer. How
Exactly.
to get the nerve of it. People buy from people, Debopriya, forget it. Whatever artificial intelligence will come in, whatever technology will do it, a human to human connect has to be there.
Totally.
That is what an entrepreneur needs to learn. Anyone who's afraid of selling can never develop a business. There are loads of ideas. A patent office in Delhi is bombarded with patent applications. Bombarded. One person has to go through, or one employee has to go through thousands of patent applications.
Oh.
That's the workload they have, right? How many of those patents are actually commercialized?
Exactly.
These ideas
So I
converted
research
into a
on
real
that. I actually did a real-time research on that, and at least now the gestation period or the publication period of patents have reduced. But initially, it used to be 10 years, 14 years of gestation period of patent grant. So every Friday, that makes in a year 52 Fridays. Every Friday there is from the patent office there is a list of granted patent and published patents. But in lakhs and lakhs of patents, most of the patents are from organizations, bigger organizations,
Yes.
and individual
But
patents or innovator patents are very few. And out of those few, the commercialized ones that, as you were mentioning, are maybe there are bleak chances of commercialized patents. And even if it is commercialized, who will actually license it? Because the usability has to be useful enough to be licensed.
I spent 6 months with a patent filing firm as an employee before doing this startup.
Great.
6 months as an employee just to understand where am I in terms of patent, in terms of trademarks, in terms of all the other things. And I'm very thankful to them. They paid me money and they made me learn. Or
So that's again a very
commercialization of
important
patents.
aspect. That's again a very important aspect, Puneetji. Why I'm trying to mention it, because there are a lot of entrepreneurs out there who just have an idea. So for them, it is very important to first get into the, as an intern or as a initial like fresher employee, you should get into a business who are already doing business like what you want to do or like what you want to build. If you go there, you will learn more about what is going on in your head, and you will get a clarity about what kind of business that is actually going on in the market before starting off on your own.
अग्री विद यू। छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता है, मैं कभी खेत में काम करने नहीं गया था देवप्रिया जी, सालों हो गए थे। व्हेन आई वाज इन 10th स्टैंडर्ड मैंने उसके बाद खेत में जाना छोड़ दिया था। ठीक है, नाउ टू स्टार्ट एन एग्रीकल्चर कंपनी, मैं खुद जाकर गन्ना उठाकर ट्रॉली में लोड करता था, जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड किस तरह का गन्ना है। मैं गेहूं का बोरा पीठ पे उठाकर ट्रॉली में लोड करता था, जस्ट टू अंडरस्टैंड कि यार वो जो कह रहा है किसान, वो क्या बोल रहा है। एक बड़ा छोटी सी बात है, मतलब कॉन्वेंट स्कूल में पढ़ने वाले बच्चे को आप बोलो जरा एक बार गन्ना उठाया जाएगा, वो कहेगा मुझे क्या लेना, मेरे हाथ गंदे हो जाएंगे। काम तो करना पड़ेगा भाई, देयर इज नो शॉर्टकट टू हार्ड वर्क, करना तो पड़ेगा ही, अदरवाइज कुछ नहीं होगा। फैशन, आपने स्टार्टअप का एक टैग लगा लिया, हाँ जी मैंने स्टार्टअप कर लिया, हो गया, मैं अपने पापा के गले पे बैठता हूँ, नोट गिनती करता हूँ, मस्त रहो, वो मत करो। एंड देयर आर लोड्स ऑफ पीपल, आई हैव बीन टॉकिंग टू मल्टीपल एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, कॉलेजेस, स्कूल्स, वहां से बच्चे आते हैं, सर हमें तो एंटरप्रेन्योर जर्नी के लिए कुछ बताओ। अरे सर जर्नी नहीं है, कमिटमेंट है। एक बार आपने वादा कर लिया तो आर या पार लगाकर छोड़ो, होने तो जो हो रहा है। दैट इज रियली लैकिंग, बिकॉज पूरा एजुकेशन सिस्टम ही गड़बड़ है। कॉलेज में बच्चे को एडमिशन देते हैं नौकरी का लालच देके, हमारा इतने परसेंट प्लेसमेंट रेशो है या इतने परसेंटेज हम बच्चों को प्लेस कर रहे हैं, वो बेचारा आया ही नौकर बनने के लिए, और मालिक तो कभी बनेगा ही नहीं। सो दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस वैल्यू। स्टार्टअप इज नॉट अ फैशन, है नहीं, होगा नहीं, वो कर लेगा कॉलेज में प्रोजेक्ट ये वो सब कुछ, पर वो कहीं आगे बढ़ेगा ही नहीं। यू विल फाइंड हिम क्रिबिंग।
So business is not a fashion statement, it's a hard work statement.
बड़ा लंबा कमिटमेंट है। बहुत सारे बच्चे हैं, आई जस्ट स्पोक टू समबडी इन दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी आज ही, उस बच्चे ने मुझे कॉल किया, मैं आंसर नहीं कर पाया, आई कॉल्ड हिम बैक एंड उस बच्चे ने बोला आई गिव यू अ कॉल बैक इन 10 मिनट्स सर। अब 4.5 आवर्स हो गए, उसके 10 मिनट खत्म नहीं हुए। वो क्या बिजनेस करेगा, कैसे करेगा, कुछ भी नहीं, उसको टाइम पास करना है, आया गया सुना चला गया। लोट्स ऑफ पीपल, एंड देन इट्स द माइंडसेट। अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल, जब मैंने आटावेयर शुरू करा था, इवन अभी भी लोग, आप मेरा सोशल मीडिया उठाकर देखिए, दिन रात गाली देते हैं, उल्टी सीधी बातें कहते हैं, नेगेटिव कमेंट्स आते हैं। यू नीड टू लर्न हाउ टू हैंडल, हाउ टू गेट योर वर्क डन। आप अपना काम कैसे करोगे, आपको काम निकालना है। गवर्नमेंट नहीं सपोर्ट कर रही, बैंक नहीं दे रहा जी, ये नहीं कर रहा, मेरे पेरेंट्स नहीं कर रहे, अरे होने दो यार, ये सब होगा। को जलाओगे नहीं तो धुआं कैसे होगा, जलाओ।
That's actually a very conclusive statement for a session like this. जलाओगे नहीं तो धुआं कैसे होगा? So Puneet ji, going towards the end of our session, like concluding this wonderful discussion with you, what would be your one statement for the new age entrepreneurs out there?
Avoid social media if you really wish to develop a product. Avoid social
Okay.
media if you really wish to develop a product. Why am I saying this? सोशल मीडिया के पास आइडियाज हो सकते होंगे शायद, बट वो आइडिया ओरिजिनल नहीं है। टू हैव एन ओरिजिनल आइडिया, दैट इज यू। Yourself cannot be copied. Your ideas cannot be copied because they've been generated through your own mind. So it takes time to come with an idea, right? When I was 35 years old, then I got this idea. 35 years old, मतलब कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड में अपनी चप्पल जूता घिसवाने के बाद, ऑल द ब्लडी कॉर्पोरेट पॉलिटिक्स को मजा लेने के बाद आई स्टेप्ड अप। तो हो सकता है आपको भी टाइम लगे यार, टेक योर टाइम, लेट थिंग्स हैपन नेचुरली, डू नॉट फोर्स योरसेल्फ टू डू इनोवेशन। इनोवेशन इज नॉट फोर्स्ड, आराम से चलता है, थिंक थ्रू इट, Get a feasibility test done about your idea, and do not get so attached. If tomorrow somebody comes with a real figure and says Puneet Aataware bekar hai, kabhi nahi chalega, it doesn't work, accept it, listen him out, have patience. देखो तो सही वो क्या कहता है. I've been fighting with a food technologist in Switzerland. The guy does not know what jaggery is, and it's been good 4 years now. Fighting. And we haven't stopped talking. We've been fighting. He's been in the food technologies for good 20-25 years. I am no one in the food technology. And he's pushing me down all day long. हम सुन रहे हैं यार, होता है क्या होगा, आप अभी तैयार रहना चाहिए. थोड़े से स्टार्टअप्स की ग्लैमर स्टोरी सुन ली, यूनिकॉर्न बन गया, वो बन गया, रिलैक्स रहो. Have your feet on your ground. सोशल मीडिया आपको पागल कर देता है. उसने ये कहा, उस सेलिब्रिटी ने वो कहा, कुछ नहीं होगा. Don't have fake life. Be real in your life.
Great. So with that, thank you so much, Puneet ji. Thank you so much for the entire discussion that we had. It was wonderful discussing it with you and having to know your journey and the journey of Aataware. I'm sure that this would be loved by our audience. And going ahead with this, thank you so much.
I really appreciate your time, Debopriya, and it was lovely talking and discussing things.